Greetings, friends and fellow adventurers. My name is Wayne Harbison, and this is my new channel where we delve into the many worlds of action, adventure, heroes, and villains. So strap in, hang on, and get ready for a ride as we explore a new series in my writing called The Titeens. It's set in a fictional pastiche world of capes and cows, heroic champions, and vile villains. Today, we join a mother and son in the city of Titanopolis as they discuss recent issues in their family's heroic lives. "We failed him, Drew," Andrew Carter's mother told him. "The whole squad failed him. We failed to stop Brain Pirate when he took over your father's mind, and we failed to release your father before he did the unthinkable." "But he still claims that Dad killed his mother," Drew said. "And your dad did kill his mother," she replied. "That was the Brain Pirate," Drew protested. "The court said that it wasn't his fault, that he was being mind-controlled." "And that makes River feel better how?" she asked him. "I was there. He was there. Your father cut his mother in half with his eye lasers. River saw it. Worst of all, he watched her suffer before dying. And then his dad dropped dead the second she died. Yes, the courts found your father not guilty, but that doesn't bring his parents back. That doesn't make being made an orphan any easier for him. That doesn't take away the pain of seeing his mother cut in half and then watching her suffer. If we're not careful, it could become his archenemy origin." "But Dad apologized. The courts." "It doesn't help River, Drew." "But can't he see how much this has hurt Dad, too?" "He's 13 years old, Drew. All he knows is that he's hurt, and your father was the weapon used to hurt him. Now the courts have turned on him." "Why?" "Because his parents refused to be either heroes or villains. They used their abilities to make a fortune in a technically legal manner, but not always an ethically one. They kept to themselves and stayed out of the conflict between heroes and villains, between law and order. Your dad said some pretty nasty things in public about people who wouldn't step up to the plate, and Brain Pirate used that. Panther, Red Racer, Nereid, and I tried to stop him, but your father is one of, if not the most powerful Ultra on the planet. No matter what we tried, we failed to stop him from killing her." She sighed. "And now River is all alone, and if someone doesn't help him, if someone doesn't guide him, then he's likely to not only turn into a villain, but a very powerful one at that." "Why did Brain Pirate target his family?" "Like I said, they refused to take sides. His parents refused to help Brain Pirate with some plan, and he took offense to it. When he tried to mind control them, he found out that they had very strong wills. So to send a message to other Ultras who chose to stay neutral, he targeted your father and sent him after the Forest family. Can't he see that it was Brain Pirate, not Dad, who attacked them?" "Deep down he knows that," Danica Carter told him. "But he will always have the images of what your father did in his mind. He may eventually come to accept that your father was an unwilling tool, but those memories will always color his interactions with your father, and probably with you too." And Brain Pirate walks away scot-free. Brain Pirate escaped, and has even gained a significant amount of street cred because of what happened. After all, he forced Wonder Man to break his code against killing, and that gives him a certain reputation. But don't expect him to get away with it. Panther is tracking him down even now. When we find him, he's going to face justice. Then with a low sigh, she added, "And River has made some statements about making him pay too. I'd rather Brain Pirate face the legal system than an angry 13-year-old ultra-human with more power than experience or wisdom." "Exactly what are his powers?" Drew asked. "We're not sure of all of them. He wasn't too badly injured in the fight, so we weren't able to examine him there. He threw a forklift at your dad, so we know he's at least that strong. But beyond some enhanced strength, durability, and speed, we don't have much of an idea." She paused, looked him in the eye. "He was very angry, and understandably so. He was fighting with your dad when Brain Pirate decided to make a run for it. It was everything we could do to keep your dad from killing the boy." I think River knew it was hopeless and just wanted to die with his parents, and Brain Pirate was willing to grant him that, knowing it would completely destroy your father. When the fight was over, he refused treatment. Because of that, we weren't able to get any scans of him. Why didn't you just do the scans anyway? Drew demanded. You had to know if he had any internal injuries. She smiled and said, He's smart. He basically told us, his body, his choice. We couldn't argue with that. He'd already been violated by your father bursting into their home, killing his parents, and then trying to kill him. We let it alone. You said that he threw a forklift at Dad? Why do they have a forklift in their home? His mother gave him a wan smile and said, You've seen how these kind of fights go. It spilled over into the nearby construction site in their neighborhood. The boy's got some moves. Red Racer clocked him at 120. Well, that's not very fast compared to Red Racer. It's fast for a 13-year-old Ultra. Drew nodded his head. So you know he's fast and strong. And agile, she told him. He also has a healing factor, which is how he justified not accepting medical attention. Beyond that, we just don't know. What do you want me to do? He asked. He won't even talk to me. Heck, he won't talk to Katie, Bobby, or Adrian. He says we're all just trying to protect Dad. Aren't you? She asked. Well, yeah, but... He stopped and gave his mother a long, critical look. Why are you defending him? Well, why are you attacking him? She countered. I'm not attacking him. I just don't want him to talk about Dad the way he does. Dad is the greatest ultra hero to ever live. Not to River, his mother told him. I'm not defending what he's saying. I'm defending his right to feel the way that he does. His feelings are perfectly valid. And so are yours. What I'm saying is that if he doesn't find a friend soon, if he doesn't find someone to guide him in a more positive direction, he could go down a very dark path. She paused a moment and sighed again. Look, you're going to hear about this anyway when you get back to school Monday morning. What? He asked warily. The courts have ordered that River be sent to an actual school instead of the homeschooling he'd been receiving. They decided that Kane Academy was the best choice. He's going to be a full-time boarding student there. And let me guess, you want me, Katie, Bobby, and Adrian to befriend him? He asked sarcastically. His mother shook her head. I don't know if that's possible. What I want you to do is look out for him and the other students. The other students? He's hurting Drew, and he's angry. He might lash out in anger. He's had his anonymity stripped from him. He might become a target for bullies. Like the rest of us haven't. The only reason Bobby wears that visor as Blue Racer is that it protects her eyes. Just hanging around with me and Adrian gave her and Katie's secret ID away almost immediately. He looked over his shoulder at the set of large white raptor wings on his back. And like with you, these make secret identities impossible. I know, son, she told him. But not having secret IDs is why people trust the squad, and it's why they'll be willing to give you and your friends that same trust. Somehow I don't think people are likely to bully someone who's fought Dad. You know there's more than one kind of bullying, she corrected him. I know, trust me, I know, and I see your point. I'm not sure how he'll feel about me and the others running interference for him, though. He doesn't have to know about it, his mother told him. But you could still watch out for him. What are you not telling me? He asked his mother. Not a lot, really, she replied. I mean, there's some personal things about him that only he can share. And how do you know them? He asked. Because I read his parents' journals before everything in his house disappeared. She paused and added, Did you know that he has an interest in how ecological and environmental systems work? He had some massive and very well-balanced terrariums in his basement. What happened to all of his stuff? Nobody knows. It just disappeared about a week after his parents died. He doesn't seem too concerned about it, so I suspect he knows where it all is. Again, she paused. I just want you and the others to be aware that he's going to be there, and that you guys need to show him a little compassion and patience. Drew shook his head. For someone who is trained to be a warrior for several thousand years, you have a strong sense of compassion and peace. She just smiled, tousled his hair, and said, That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me, kiddo. But you've had enough of the same training that I've had to know that nobody appreciates peace and compassion more than the warrior. We're the ones who have to put our lives on the line when they are broken. He nodded. He'd heard his mom say the same thing 1,000 times, but for the first time it really made sense. She was showing compassion to someone who hated her, and did so with good reason. I'll talk to Adrian and Katie. Not Bobby, she asked. I have to get past Bobby's social media first. She probably already knows about it if it's popped up anywhere on the web. Probably not. Family court records are usually kept confidential. At this point, I'd say only Dr. Wolfman and the staff at the Academy really know. Assistant Principal Perez is his new legal guardian. Well, that's going to make life more miserable for him at school, Drew said, for the first time actually feeling sorry for the boy whose family his father destroyed. That thought caught him off guard. Was he really so caught up in protecting his dad's name and reputation that he had little compassion for the boy whose mom and dad had been killed? It was a sobering thought, one that left him feeling more than a little ashamed. His mother nodded to him as if she could pluck the thoughts from his head. Like I said, he's going to need a lot of help. I think you and the other Titeens are the perfect people to do that. Titeens? Drew asked. Since when did anyone recognize our group by our chosen name? Since Dr. Wolfman has agreed to let you guys be a backup squad for the Ultra Teens. We're actually getting some kind of real sanction, he asked. How did that happen? She smiled at him and said, I think he's trying to wrangle you guys the best he can. He knows that you four are likely to hound the heels of the school's official reaction team. He wants you to push the Ultra Teens to be a better team, and by doing that, you'll become better yourselves. And where does River Forest fit in all that? Drew asked. Right now, just as a new student who needs the Academy's help, she told him. He's not pushing for him to become a member of the Titeens? He asked warily. No, he recognizes you four have grown up together, learned to fight together, and are close friends. He knows it'd be a bad idea to toss an outsider into that mix. It wouldn't be good for you, or for the person dropped into the mix. I think he's just hoping you guys will at least learn to respect each other. Drew sighed. I can respect River. Heck, he fought Dad. That's something to respect. Whether or not I can learn to like him is a different story. All we ask is you try, Drew. Even though you guys are only 13, well, Adrian is 14, but still, what you say does carry a lot of weight at the school. Just remember to treat him with patience and compassion. I think I can do that, Drew said, as long as he's not an insufferable ass. Thank you for listening to this first installment of the Titeens. I expect to drop a second video within a week with Chapter 2, where you'll learn more about the mysterious river, and there will definitely be some ultra-human action. Again, this is my first attempt at this, so I ask your patience as we begin this journey together. Feedback is always welcome, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button below so you can be informed of new content when it's dropped. Thanks again. Until next time, fellow adventurers, remember to keep your utility belts dry and your cowls clean.